And hello there folks, welcome back to RJB TV, where I, your host, RJB, will give you all the RJB TV that you've ever wanted here on YouTube. Today we're going to fight, today BurgerLife is going to fight the GangnamLife. Let's get into game number 1. Although I'm only doing a single game today because I wanted to cast something, but I didn't want to cast a very long game. I wanted to cast something of moderate length, not too long, not too short, kind of in between, if you know what I mean. And this, I think this game is right on the sweet spot in terms of game length. All right, this one is right at the sweet spot. Burgersasu here, or Burger Boy, the Burger Life, here on the bottom left of the map. GangnamLife there on the name GangnamLife, which is actually something like a neighborhood or a sector in the city of Seoul in Korea. So it's kind of like the Gangnam Life is kind of the life you live when you live in that specific neighborhood or sector of the city. And Gangnam is known as being, I'd say, the rich people neighborhood. I think that's kind of what it's like. It's like the place where the rich people live. So this is kind of like the rich people life in Korea. I'm not sure if GangnamLife lives there himself, or if he wants to live there, or if he lives like someone who lives there. I've got no idea what he meant with the name. I've got absolutely no clue at all. I just know that rich people live in Gangnam. And that's about all I know about the name that he's got. I've never been there. I don't know what the place looks like. I don't know what the people wear. I just don't know anything about it. I just know where it is. Well, I don't even know where it is. I know it's in Seoul, but I don't know what Seoul looks like. So I wouldn't even be able to tell you, like, hey, GangnamLife is right over there, or Gangnam is right over here. I would not be able to tell you. I am uneducated. I am ignorant. I know nothing, she said, and she called me Mr. Snow as well. And we all know nothing ended too well for Mr. Snow. So Burgersasu there on the bottom left of the map starts scouting the map. GangnamLife already started a little bit earlier. He's on a middle spawn here, so he goes for a double gateway into Nexus, as is tradition for Protoss against Terran. You go, if you are on the middle spawn, double gateway into a Nexus, into double gas, but he went for a single gas. So, like, he's not really following tradition. He's giving tradition his own little flavor, the Gangnam style flavor, the Gangnam Life flavor. And he goes for Cybercore after a Forge, which also is not really standard. Usually it is a Cybercore before the Forge, but GangnamLife just wants to do everything his own way. He wants to give it his own flavor, his own style, his own little bit of personality. So Burgersasu commands in the first Triple Barracks, then Gas and Academy. He is trying to reap the benefits from having a good early economy and praying to the gods above that GangnamLife wasn't going to hardcore all-in rush him. Because this build order from Burgersasu is a little bit weak against all-in hardcore cannon-pushing zealot kind of rushes. But GangnamLife is going for, I'd say, a rush light version. It's a light rush. Not all-in, he's mostly just focusing on trying to deal small amounts of damage to the Terran, but he's largely focused on protecting himself with some minor aggression, because he wants to get that cannon up in the choke and then progress into revert technology with the double robo. He's got one at the moment, but number 2 should be coming up very soon. That's kind of the plan that GangnamLife has. Keep Burgersasu away while steadily and safely progressing into that slightly advanced technology. And Burgersasu, of course, is doing kind of the exact same thing. He might try to Marine Medic burst his way through those cannons that are in the front. He might try to do that. It's something he's historically trying very often. And he is, in fact, moving out with those Marines, so he might try to do exactly that. Stim with Marine Medic through those cannons in the front. I'm not sure if it will work, because there's 2 cannons finished up, number 3 finishing up right now, and we've got about 6-7 Zealots there waiting for the Marines to show up. And yeah, he finds the Marines right there because he was expecting them. He was expecting those Marines to arrive at some point. So just making sure by checking this frontal portion whether there are Marines or not, and whether he has to prepare more countermeasures to protect himself from those Marines, or whether he doesn't have to add on any more cannons, maybe gateways or anything else. He's got the shuttle finished up. Going for one Reaver now, double Reaver, got Zealot speed on the way as well. The amount of Zealots is pretty healthy, pretty strong so far. A Burgersasu, I am not quite sure whether he's going to try to break through. That's all. Oh, right, here he goes. He's going in, my friends. It's a lot of Marines, but only 2 medics. He should have maybe gotten 3 or 4 medics in total. 2 medics might not be able to do the trick of breaking that choke. Probably not enough. Like, he has a lot of Marines. He had 2 groups of Marines. That's a lot of Marines. And I'd say that's enough Marines. But not enough medics being there, of course, means not enough healing, which means that the stim is not really getting, healed up quick enough to allow those Marines to break through. It's not going to happen. Zealot speed almost finished up, left 1 armor on the way. Shuttle speed almost finished. Shuttle with the Reavers flying over the bottom side of the map, and the Zealots are moving out to attack, and it looks like Burgersasu is hunting for that shuttle, and he will find it by pure luck of sending those 2 Marines downwards. And I lost connection to Battle.net, but who cares? It doesn't matter. It happens sometimes though. Sometimes I just lose connection. He's hunting for that shuttle. He scanned the map, trying to see where it is. He saw it leaving to the right side. GangnamLife returning. He's running away. Now returning back because he saw the Marines returning into the middle with that Zealot, which means now there's a safe path for the shuttle to maybe fly over right here over the bottom side, or maybe he's going to try to go for a frontal attack. He's got a lot of options, and he's taking, I assume, the front door option. There's a tank in the front. Wait, not 1, 2 tanks in fact. So yeah, GangnamLife not gonna be able to break through anywhere, not on the sides. Well, you could have tried the sides. You do have some Marines right there on the side, but no turrets. And no turrets, of course, means he can micro the Reaver shuttle on the sides right next to the hill. But he didn't check. He wanted to wait for 2 more shuttles to finish up and pick up the remaining Zealots, and then go in over the bottom side. Will Burgersasu respond in time and snipe the shuttles? He's unloading on the bottom corner. Zealots are coming out now as well. Kills 1 Reaver, gonna kill number 2 as well. Now Zealots are on a chase. They're behind the Marines. Marines are trying to run around, but they can't quite. They go to the top side. Now Zealots are going for the tank. They've got speed. They almost have armor. Got Storm on the way. They're back at home for GangnamLife and Dragoon range as well. This drop is honestly, it didn't do a whole lot. But the fact that the Zealots are still alive and still killing Marines means that it did enough. It did enough. And the follow-up drop already on the way. He saved, I think, 3 shuttles. And he picked up more units with 2 of them. And he's flying right over the bottom side. Marines are in between, but Burgersasu is distracted by the Zealots on the top side. Starts loading, they're on the scene. SCVs are running away. Storms on a command center. Oh my god. That was a very, very bad storm. That was a very unfortunate little misclick, but he might still have 1 more Templar in there. No, he does not. The shuttles are trying to return back home. SCV's all still alive. Disaster has been prevented. So GangnamLife had this one moment, this one chance to try and kill those SCVs. And you cannot afford to miss that one chance. And he just missed it. And he just missed it. It becomes progressively harder to hurt the Terran the longer the game goes on. You have to hit them early and you have to hit them hard if you want to win quick and fast. Now this game might become a very, very long one. SCV's once again running away. Templar storming right on the mark this time there though, but only kills 5 or 8. He has 3 Templars here on the scene. Starts morphing an Archon. He might have more Templars, actually. He's returning back to the SCV. Starts unloading Zealots. Going to try... Oh, there's 1 Templar still in the mix. And he storms and he hits a lot of them. Kills 30. So 35 or maybe 38 SCV kills in total. Very smart move to keep 1 Templar inside the shuttle and do a fake out. Pretend to run away. And then pretend to unload Zealots on top of the SCVs. And then unload the Templar and do a real storm. That was some good mind gaming there from GangnamLife. That was some good mind gaming. I can't put it any other way. Those kinds of mind games are how you fix a mistake that you made earlier. Missing that storm on the SCVs earlier was definitely a big mistake, and he had to find a way to fix that mistake, and he did. But we are still in a situation where Burgersasu has 108 supply, 39 SCVs at the moment. He's got triple command centers, so he should be able to recover, and he's going to try to do a return blow on GangnamLife. 2 tanks there unloading. Is he going to hit those probes? Probes are running away. Does not hit the probes. And now drop there coming in on the other side of the map. It's GangnamLife coming over the top side of Burgersasu's base. Marines are on the chase. Zealots and Templars unloading. Templars ready to storm on those SCVs. But the Templars getting sniped by the Marines. So all the SCVs do stay alive, but we do have a lot of dead Marines. A lot of dead Marines. They're on the scene. More are on the chase trying to take those shuttles down to make sure that they cannot go back and pick up more. But do not fret. GangnamLife has a lot of shuttles. He's only got 2 robos, but so many shuttles. This shows how important it can be to pull those shuttles back home after the drop or during the drop. Because it can save you a lot of time not having to wait on shuttles to finish up when you have the same shuttles returning back home to pick up new units. It really saves you a lot of time, and it allows you to attack a whole lot faster pretty much all the time non-stop. So here he comes yet again. There's one drop on the bottom side and probes on the middle. They're going to build cannons and pylons to contain the Burgersasu. Burgersasu saw the drop there coming in. He scanned this bottom corner earlier. He knows it's coming, but he's flying all the way around. He's flying all the way around, gets onto his destination with the Templars on location, tries to storm but gets the Templar snipe, prevents disaster. Did not dodge the storm, he relied on his ability to snipe it within a millisecond to prevent the storm. Risky play, but at least he gets to keep his SCVs on the minerals. It's very difficult to do, in my opinion, honestly. It's a little bit difficult to do. It's a little bit difficult to do to snipe those Templars right as they unload. Because first, you gotta be fast with your mouse. You gotta be very accurate with your mouse. You cannot afford to make mistakes. So very fast reaction time, very fast mouse movement, and very precise mouse movement are required to snipe the Templars. It's a risky play, it's a gamble basically. Like, are you faster than your opponent? But here he comes in, over the top side. Marines are in between, forced to unload because Valkyries are hanging on the pathway, storming the Marines. Oh, still gets a lot of Templar kills with the Templar. A lot of Marine kills, even more Marine kills. That's 2 groups of Marines dead and gone. That might open up a small little pathway to fly in over for the next drop. Also, not stopping that Zealot from killing turrets might hurt Burgersasu. He's focused on other things, not on that Zealot killing his turrets. So the same location, the same angle, the same pathway, the top left of his base. He's putting some tanks in the high ground to help him with defending against units that are unloading. He's got 5 barracks, so he's making a lot of Marines. He's back on 73 SCVs, so GangnamLife managed to make 1 drop count, but has since then not managed to kill any more SCVs. He's killed mostly Marines and tanks. Comes back in right over the drop dodge pathway. Templars are close. Templars are not storming. Templars are storming, and he loses the SCVs to a Zealot standing right next to the SCVs, and the tanks hitting the Zealot, and the Zealot taking those bastards down with him. That was a good one. That was a good one. It's difficult dodging those storms when there's Zealots, sieged up tanks, and High Templars there to kill the SCVs. Sometimes the tanks are either your best friends or your own worst enemy, and right there, those tanks hurt Burgersasu a lot. It wasn't a storm, although the storm did weaken the SCVs, it didn't kill them. The tank did the job. Thank you, my best friend. Set the Templar to the tank. SCVs running away in time this time around. 4 Templars on the scene, storming on the Marines, on the Valkyries, on, well, anything but the SCVs. They're still alive. So the SCVs do stay alive this time around. A lot of Marine kills, a lot of, well, didn't kill the Valkyries, but did weaken them. killing the depots in the front as well with zealots that he's been making all the time. His base is looking pretty good. There's not a lot of real estate, but we're only 15 minutes in. He's been dropping non-stop all the time. A lot of cannons and gateways on the middle here, though. He's relocating his real estate to the middle to shorten the distance to Burgersasu's front door. It's going to be a whole lot of knocking on that front door, and Burgersasu is not planning on opening the door. So he's going to try to break through that front door and let himself into the house. Yeah, Burgersasu is having a pretty tough time here, and GangnamLife is playing very clean. Very clean play. His Templars have at times been unloading on the wrong spots. What matters most is GangnamLife is consistently sending out attacks from the top and the side. Valkyries in between there, though, gonna take down those shuttles. Shuttles forced to unload on the low ground. Tanks at high ground are gonna support. Trying to storm on the Valkyries, but nope, cannot do. Cannot do. Burgersasu played that one, well, I want to say perfectly. But you can always play more perfect than what has already been done. Which would mean that perfect play is not perfect. It's a difficult little thing to describe. What is perfect play? When is someone playing absolutely perfect without mistakes? Is it possible to play absolutely perfect? Where do we draw the lines? Where do we set the perimeters of what is perfect play? So I feel carriers in the air. I smell it. And we can see it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 Stargates. And he might get one more there on the top. Is that a Stargate? That's a gateway. So I'd say we have about 30 gateways on the map. Like a lot there on the... Oh, sorry, excuse me. A lot there on the middle. A lot more on the middle. And a whole bunch here back at home. I'd say about 30 gateways just to be conservative. Alright? Just for a conservative guess. Might even be more than 30. The carriers are going to be the real problem for Burgersasu. He's got 1-2-1 upgrades for his air, 3-2-2 for ground at 17 minutes in. Those are some very good upgrades. GangnamLife is playing really solid. I haven't seen him play this solid in quite a while, but the fact that Burgersasu is still alive means that he hasn't yet done enough to kill the Burger. He's tried a lot of things, well, a lot of the same things. He's tried a lot of shuttle drops and more shuttle drops and more shuttle drops, and so far the barrage of shuttle drops has not done the trick. Is not yet done the trick, and that's in part because Burgersasu has these structures floating all over the map that are giving him vision of these shuttles that keep flying in. So that's why he's taking a little bit of a break with attacking. 1, he's waiting for carriers, and 2, he has to take away Burgersasu's vision of the map. And that's what he's doing right now. It's a slow process, but it is a process he has to go through in order to even be able and capable of getting those drops onto those SCVs. Otherwise, these Valkyries are just going to keep killing those shuttle drops, and that's not what he wants. But that does mean that Burgersasu right now is getting a whole lot of time to build up, finish his base, get maxed out, get upgrades as well, and to prepare himself for the battle that is to come. Carriers against Valkyries and tanks against cannons. That's the battle that's in the future, although one shuttle drop there coming across the map, flying right in there, unopposed. Valkyries are running away, Templars are storming. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that was a close one. That almost hit him. That almost hit him. I think not even GangnamLife was expecting that shuttle drop to hit. I don't think he was expecting it to hit. So what happened is, shuttle drop came flying over the front, while a bigger drop came flying over the top. Got spotted out by the barracks and the engineering beta on the top, which of course meant the Valkyries had to move to the top side to intercept. And for some reason, the distraction shuttle almost landed. Or maybe the big drop was the distraction and the small one was the real one. But Burgersasu got a little bit lucky, because he wasn't even looking at the small drop. He wasn't even looking at it. And yet he still did not take any damage from it. So the game has become a little bit harder for GangnamLife, as now the tanks are rolling into the middle. There's a lot of cannons, a lot of gateways, like actually a lot of gateways, and a whole lot more cannons warping in. Upgrades for GangnamLife are presumably almost maxed out. Just needs one more armor upgrade. His carriers are on... I can't see. 2 armor, 3 shield. Shield just finished up on level 3, which I assume means he got level 2 attack as well. He has no carrier capacity upgrade yet. Wait, does he have it or not? Oh, he's getting Reaver capacity. Reaver capacity, already has carrier capacity. The GangnamLife hasn't really done a whole lot of attacking over the past 5 minutes, and Burgersasu has taken that as an invitation to build up, get big, and attack the middle. And he's pushing through the middle pretty quick. The time is ticking, the clock is ticking for GangnamLife. He has to respond to this. Well, I wanted to say he has to respond to this quick, and he did. The Templars killed pretty much all of the tanks that were there, which now, of course, means the carriers are going to clean up whatever's left. Some Goliaths entering the middle, some tanks at the high ground going to get taken down as well. The Goliaths not really that strong yet. They have level 1, 1 or 2 upgrades. 2, 2. Actually the same upgrades as the carriers do, except for the shields, of course. So GangnamLife got a pretty strong carrier army flying about in the air. And Burgersasu's got to... well, he's got to defend himself against it. And then, of course, try to kill it. Coming in there over the side, target firing on a carrier. One carrier there taking lethal amounts of damage, gets taken down. Tanks at the high ground getting taken down as well. And GangnamLife loses 2 carriers, killing 4 tanks on the high ground. Not sure if that was worth it. But dislodging those tanks from the high ground will allow him, further down the line, to maybe switch over into a ground army after he loses the carriers. So he has to kill those units on the high ground. And Burgersasu puts new units on the high ground to make sure that GangnamLife won't have an easy time switching back into a ground force. Great target firing there on the carriers. A lot of... I wanted to say a good push from Burgersasu, but most of the Goliaths got taken down. We have a small little Dragoon army there assisting the carriers. We have, I think, 11 or 12 carriers in the air. 11. One of them just went down. We got 4 Arbiters here on the way from those Stargates. Gonna go for the stasis on the Valkyries in the back. Maybe on the Goliaths, maybe on the tanks. I don't know, but he's got some plans up his sleeve. And Burgersasu is, hopefully, properly prepared. Scans come down over the base. Yeah, he saw pretty much the entire base. So that... well, I think he already knew what was there, but sometimes you just want to check on what's being built. If you see those flashing lights on the Stargates, you know there's going to be more carriers or more Arbiters, which kind of gives you the information you need on whether to prepare for a gateway army or whether to just keep going Goliaths and anti-air. Kills the vessel. It opens up the option to maybe get some Dark Templars in there, and yes, there they are in the middle, right in between. Does the Burger have a scan? Will he notice those Dark Templars? There's the scan, a little bit slow on the scan, lost I think about 6 or 7 of his Goliaths. Carriers trying to take down some floating structures on the side, but the Valkyries are there to protect. We haven't seen a single drop come out from GangnamLife since he finished his carriers, and that does worry me a little bit, because you do need drops to kill a Terran. You do need it, specifically because the Terran army is pretty damn fucking strong. Look at him go down and chase down those carriers. Carriers taking lots of damage. Killed 3 of them, maybe 4. Kills 5. Valkyries have done their job. All the shields are dead and gone. And there's no shield batteries on the map to heal them up. He did not get shield batteries over here to heal up the carriers. So the carriers so far haven't really been very effective. They have at most kept Burgersasu from pushing right into the middle. But now Zealot switch there. The Zealot switch, he's going to try to bank on this one. The tech switch, Zealots on the ground, carries in the air. Zealots are great against Goliaths. Not so great against tanks, but there's not a whole lot of tanks in the mix. So the Zealots are really pushing through. Valkyries killing the carriers. Carriers all getting taken down. There's some hefty damage, some critical damage on the carriers. Carriers all dead and gone. There's a lot of Zealots there on the scene trying to break through. Tanks in the back there finishing up. More tanks are on the way from Burgersasu. He's responding to this quite well. He killed some of his own SCVs to open up supply space. Now 59, down from 85. But he's burning through that money pretty quick, I gotta admit. He was on 10k minerals just earlier and now already down to, I think, about 4,000, even below 4,000. GangnamLife, on the other hand, has 20,000 minerals. He can afford to kill all of his probes and try to go for an all-in gateway unit attack, or maybe have gateway units combined with carriers. Also, there's a fly flying right in front of my face from time to time, and I'm trying to smash it down, but I keep missing. It's so annoying. Oh my god. I'm in Mortal Kombat with a fly. Oh my god. He's attacking over the front. Not really making a lot of progress, but he's keeping Burgersasu contained within his base. Burgersasu is phasing into more tanks. There's an Arbiter there on the side. Arbiter got EMP'd. Does he have more Arbiters, though? I think I saw him make 4 in total. And I only see... Oh, there's 2 of them. They're on the top. 2 there on the middle. 1 of them got EMP'd. 2 of them got EMP'd, actually. 2 of them. These 2 are still on energy. Might do a stasis, might do a recall. I'm not too sure. More carriers now on the way to replace that gateway army. Cannons being built on a mill to slow Burgersasu down, but it won't slow him down too much because Burgersasu moved out a little bit too quick. The Zealots there are going to try to run into the tanks, maybe get some splash damage down on some Goliaths in the front. Cannons are finishing up, but there's no pylon to power them. And the Zealots actually do get right on top of those tanks. So a large ball of them went down there. Oh my god, the fly is flying almost into my face. Oh my god. It's trying to get into my eye. Okay. Double Arbiter there, waiting for more energy. Double Arbiter on the top, waiting for a recall, an EMP. I don't know what he's gonna do, but he got something on his mind. And Burgersasu is, well, just playing very good. This is just very good play. A little bit of tank micro, bit of Valkyrie flying back and forth, pushing forward into the middle, non-stop producing tanks back at home, 17 Goliaths all at the same time. He might have scanned this section and saw the carriers, or he might have assumed carriers were on the way, because we haven't been seeing a lot of gateway units, and usually when the amount of gateway units attacking you goes down, it means the amount of carriers that will be attacking you very soon is going up. Usually, that's what it means. And Burgersasu is now getting dangerously close to breaking into that house. Dragoons are spawning. Bad rally point attacks from the side. Won't do a whole lot here, though. Won't do a whole lot. Arbiter on the scene. Gets pulled in by accident. Yeah, GangnamLife went from playing very, very hot to having a pretty difficult game right now. Throws away 50 probes. Stopped mining gas, so all his probes are on the minerals. He's gonna have a whole lot of army supply to fight this, but the rally point is still set there to this point right here. So a lot of the gateway units that are spawning are dying without attacking. Carries on the top. Still has the 2 Arbiters. Arbiter's getting spotted out by a command center. I expect Burgersasu to move his Valkyries to intercept them soon. But now all that opened up supply space from killing 50 or 40 probes is now allowing him to clear out the middle with a great surround as gateway units come from the back and from the front. So GangnamLife now turning the tables, turning things around on Burgersasu. The fact that he has over 10,000 gas is allowing him to do this. It's allowing him to have a very small amount of probes, only 37, and a whole lot of gateway units. If only he could mix in some drops right now and start hitting Burgersasu's economy. Burgersasu, not a lot of tanks. He's building a lot of tanks, but doesn't have a lot of them at the moment. In fact, only one of them there, right in between. Arbiter coming in with the stasis. Carriers pushing through. Carriers in the air, looking very, very strong. Goliaths on the ground. We have a vessel there, stasis. We have turrets on the side giving protection still. Goliaths moving backwards. Wraiths in the air. Do we have observers? No, we do not. The Wraiths are on the scene. Wraiths are not cloaking. And then they get stasis. But the Valkyries in the back are providing the necessary support against the carriers. But the carriers in the air still looking pretty menacing with all those zealots on the low ground being mixed in between. But it looks like Burgersasu held on for just long enough as his gateway, as his tanks and Goliaths are finishing up on time. And an often ignored fact that I will now address is the fact that look at this tiny little bit amount of space in between the factories. It's perfect for defending against zealots. Like, only one zealot at a time could enter in between and attack a tank. Only one of them, maybe two. And the Dragoons, they have trouble getting in between and getting even further in. It's a very tight, narrow space, and he has to force himself right in there, and it's simply not working. Now we've got Valkyries and Wraiths on the attack, killing the carriers, but Dragoons on the low ground are killing the Valkyries instead. The carriers are largely staying alive. Valkyries are returning back to the backline. Return back to the backline. 50-40 supply difference now. Carriers in the air, pushing forward, focus firing on the Valkyries, now focus firing on the tanks, Goliaths in between, trying to anti-air, but there's not a lot of Goliaths on the scene. Wraiths are being built. Does he have Cloak this time around? I don't see an Arbiter on the scene. Carriers are almost all dead and gone, of very low HP. One of them goes down, one more. Carriers are only two left alive. Is he going to take them down? But now we have the massive gateway army switch from having 30 gateways or more on the map to switch from carriers into gateway units. GangnamLife is burning through his money. He had 14,000 earlier, now almost below 7,000. He's below 7,000 in fact. He's producing gateway units faster than you could probably comprehend or believe. Will he be able to overpower Burgersasu, or is the next wave of tanks that will spawn very soon going to save his life? It's going to be a very, very close call. Look at the amount of gateway units coming from every single direction, entering this choke point, entering the pathway, entering the base. His money is now below 4,000. Will GangnamLife run out of money before he kills the Burger? Is this gonna work? He's gambling everything he's got on this one massive gateway unit push. It's simple, but sometimes superior numbers are all it takes. And it looks like he's gonna do it, boys. It looks like he's gonna do it, my friends. He's gonna overpower the Burger. The Burger does not have a whole lot left. There's not a whole lot left here back at home. Wraiths in the air, going to try to save the day, but we have an Observer on the scene, and Arbiters as well. Arbiter getting cloak protection. Does he have scans? Does he have anything that can help him survive against this? That's the big question, and it looks like he doesn't. GangnamLife talks some smack, and that is a game win there for GangnamLife against Burgersasu after 33 minutes. Minus 1 single second. Very strong performance there from our Burger boy. And also, I just noticed I have the Burgersasu against Ansung header still there on the top. It shows a 1-1. I just noticed right now. I should have fixed it at the start. I've been forgetting that thing at the top for a while now. Like last couple games, the thing here at the top, I've been forgetting to change it or remove it for a couple of videos already. Luckily, it doesn't really spoiler the results of Burgersasu against Ansung. Please do go watch that. It's an amazing set. But yeah, so this time around, Burgersasu losing against GangnamLife. GangnamLife stopped with the drops. Like, the first 15 minutes was only drops, and the next 15 minutes was no drops at all, using gateway and carriers. His gateway units and carriers got him to the victory. Well played, both players, and I hope to see you again sometime next time, very soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe even sooner. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe, do whatever you want, become a member if you want to. Anyway, have a good night.